my face and all they do.
So, Friend, what are we saying on today? Hey, friends. Welcome to the Hey Frienn podcast. This is my friend Paulnisha.
This is my friend Ty'Nesha, and this is where it gets real. So, friend, what we sipping on today?
So today we have a lychee martini. So the lychee martini contains vodka. Good.
Yeah. Almost dropped it.
It's vodka, Saint Germain. It also has lychee juice in it. Listen, I had to search for this can for these canned lychees. Okay, like I had to go to the Asian market just to find these canned lychees. But anyways, it also has like I said, the lychee juice, and then there's also a little bit of lychee soda. Also found it at the Asian market. Shout out to the Asian market. For real, it came through for the aesthetics and all. And then I also garnished it with 2 lychees.
It tastes really, really good.
Dang, we didn't even get to cheers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cheers to episode 5.
Cheers to episode 5, y'all. Cheers. Friend, this might be this is the top. I like it. It's really, really good.
It's good. It's
sweet.
It takes the alcohol just a little.
I feel like it's going to sneak up on you, though.
This is definitely one that's going to sneak up on you.
Yeah,
For sure.
it ain't so good. Yeah, you did your thing, girl.
I do something.
Period. So, friend, what is the topic today?
So today we're talking about setting boundaries.
So setting boundaries. I've been doing a lot of study about setting boundaries. If you guys don't know, I have a nonprofit organization called By Her For Her, and we are doing a series on boundaries. We're actually reading Set Boundaries by Peace. So we've been doing a lot of studies in the Bible, in the book, on how to set boundaries. So I'm so excited that we're going to have this conversation today.
Right. Y'all been doing activities.
We had with the kids and the married people. We've been really diving deep about boundaries. So it's changing me. I don't know about the girlies, but it's been changing me inside out. So let's just start. What is boundaries? What are boundaries? Like,
So
how would you define it?
to me, boundaries are the things you're going to put up with and the things you ain't. That will.
Point blank
So it's like, if you cross that line of the things that I'm not going to put up with, I'm going to have to put my foot down.
Yeah.
Like, you're crossing a boundary. I'm informing you that this is not okay for me.
Yeah.
Like, you're overstepping and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And you're making me feel some kind of way. You may be making me feel anxious. You may be making me feel angry. Or you may make me feel like you're trying to control me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of times when people overstep boundaries, it's because they want to be controlled.
Right. Because boundaries, point being clear, boundaries is a line.
Yeah.
It's an imaginary line that you put up for yourself because no one can tell you how you feel. And if I say, hey, you can't cross this line, you can't tell me whether you can or whether you can't.
Right.
Because this is my line that I put up. And if I tell you this makes me feel this way, this makes me feel that way. And if you are questioning that, I don't even know we should be friends.
I seen this thing online and it was like, people who don't like boundaries that you set are the ones that benefit the most. So when you start placing boundaries,
Yeah.
and someone's like, they have a problem with you placing these boundaries,
Yeah.
that's because they're benefiting in some type of way or they're gaining something from you. And now they're like, wait, so you're not going to allow me to disrespect you no more?
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, no, you cannot. Like, I'm not going for that.
Or people who get upset when you set boundaries, it's because you're not moving how they would move.
So how do you set boundaries?
Don't ask me. Oh no, I really don't, because I feel like that's something I struggle with. I am very aware of my emotions and how I feel. I just don't. I think I struggle with actually setting boundaries, and that's why we're reading that book in our book club. When she's with us, we're reading Set Boundaries, Find Peace, because I feel like I'm having a hard time saying no. I'm not aware that it's ruining like, I know what it's doing to me. I know how I feel. I know it's wrong. I just don't know how to say no. I don't have enough strength and courage to say no. So I'm in the process of reading the book now and learning and trying to adjust that it's okay to say no. And it's also okay to not have to give people a reason of why I'm saying no. That's a different thing. Yeah. Like, why do I have to find a reason to why I'm saying no? No is no. And even if I do know the reason, why am I getting bullied to even tell you why I'm saying no? I feel uncomfortable. This makes me feel weird. This makes me feel anxious. I shouldn't have to tell you why I'm saying no. This is my peace.
Yeah.
And boundaries has a lot to do with self-care. That's how I take care of myself. These are the walls that I put up to take care of me as a person.
To protect me.
To protect my heart. To guide my heart. Like, now you have me feeling some type of way because I'm saying no. And you're labeling me someone that I'm not because I'm saying no.
Right.
When I feel like you can express, hey, I don't feel like going out today. And I could be okay with it. I'm not going to bully you. Like, why you not going out? Just come out. Why you never want to go out? Da, da, da. And it's like, I just don't feel like going out today. And I will respect it as a person. Like, okay, you good. I get you. And sometimes if you know the person for real, you going to know where they at. Sometimes when you tell me I feel like going out, I'm like, girl, I just got up her shit going on. Right. So I feel like respect my choices when it comes to my marriage, when it comes to my kids, when it comes to my business, when it comes to me personally. Respect me when I put up a wall or when I say no.
Right.
And I feel like the reason why I'm having a hard time saying no is because it wasn't okay to say no before.
You felt obligated to say.
Obligated to say yes. Or I was going to get labeled something that I wasn't. So now I am learning to have enough strength and courage to say no and stand up for myself.
Yeah.
I have my baby watching me. She needs to know, like, it's okay to stand up for yourself.
It's okay to say
It's okay to say no.
It's okay not to go out.
It's okay not to
every
be in
time
the
somebody.
mood.
Yeah, it's okay not to go somewhere
It's okay to
or
be
do something.
alone.
Every time somebody asks you.
Ask you to do it. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have to explain it and feel bad about saying no. That's like the biggest thing. Like, why do I feel bad that I said no, knowing that I'm tired?
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm not mentally available.
Right.
Knowing that makes me feel weird. Why do I feel like I'm obligated and I have to go? That's when the relationship is toxic. So yeah. I know setting boundaries is such a huge topic and it's such a big thing. And a lot of women don't know that setting boundaries is self-care. Like, it's definitely self-care. It is one that you have to learn how to do because you will get mentally exhausted.
Drained.
And you don't even know why you're drained. Because you're like, oh, I'm saying yes to this person. I'm saying yes to this person. I'm saying yes to this person. And now you're drained. You have nothing to give. And it's because you don't have any boundaries. In your business, you got to have boundaries in every aspect. Your business, your personal life, your friendship, your kids.
Right.
For yourself. Because now discipline also takes place. Because now I got to be disciplined enough to say no and stick to my no.
I feel like when you're trying to set boundaries, it's very tough in the beginning because now you like they were so used to you saying yes.
You own something.
They were so used to you saying, yeah, I'm gonna go, no problem, girl. I'm gonna be there at 8:00. Yes. And now when you start saying like, hey, nah, I'm good. I don't feel like going. Why you don't want to go? What's wrong?
Yeah.
You always do this. Every time I ask you to go somewhere, you don't want to go no more. What's wrong? And it's not that something's wrong. Like, I think it's not even the fact that they're asking you what's wrong because they genuinely care. They're just asking you what's wrong because they want to be able to convince you that it's right.
Right.
If that makes sense.
And honestly, it's for their benefit. They're gaining everything out of that. And my biggest thing that I'm learning now is that it's hard to set boundaries later on in the relationship than in the beginning of the relationship.
Right.
Because now you're switching up.
Yeah.
Now
it's what's wrong
now I've been doing this. Or now I've been doing now And that's why I feel like setting boundaries has a lot to do with communication.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to communicate. If you don't know how to communicate, now you don't know how to set boundaries. Now you're not taking care of yourself. It starts with communication, because when and how you communicate it is important.
I feel like for me, I have a problem with communicating the boundary until it's crossed, and now
you're communicating it.
But now the way I'm communicating it is not coming off.
They're not
pleasant.
receiving it.
They're not receiving it because now I'm not being pleasant about it.
Yeah.
Like, now I got an attitude.
Yeah.
Like, why?
When you're in a relationship, it's so important when your boundaries are crossed to do it right then and there.
You gotta nip it in the bud.
Nip it in the bud. Even if you're like, hey, I don't want you to be late, and that person is 1 minute late, you have to say something. You have to say, hey, you're 1 minute late, I don't play that. You didn't really take your own time.
Right.
You have to nip it in the bud. That's in everything, like your friendship, your kids, everything. You have to nip it in the bud.
But then,
and I feel like I'm nagging.
Exactly. I was just about to say, then when you do that,
It's like, hey, you didn't get. But guess what? Your boundaries would never get crossed. Because every time your name pull up, at least you don't play that.
Yeah.
You gotta be there. You gotta be on time.
Because I will leave.
Exactly. You just set a tone for yourself.
Right.
You set a tone for your business. You set a tone on how you want people to come at you, and it is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is. And no one should make you feel wrong about that.
Right.
About setting a tone for your business. Because now, if you don't set a tone for your business, you get run over.
Yep.
You get run over. You gotta be strong.
You gotta be strong.
You have to be strong to set boundaries and not let people shake you when you set boundaries, because this is how it makes you feel at the end of the day.
Right, because you don't want to do something and then you come home and now you feel like
icky, like I'm not tired.
Not even like you went knowing you didn't want to go, and then something bad happened.
And you ain't want to go.
And you ain't want to go in the first place. Now you looking crazy.
Like, now you looking crazy.
You got into a car accident.
Yeah.
I ain't even want to go here in the first place. Right.
You broke.
Something bad happened. And you went out. When you went out, the food wasn't even good.
Girl, you know, wasted money.
Wasted money.
And you knew you ain't want to go.
And my outfit.
Oh. It's a cute outfit. You ain't gonna wear the outfit again.
Exactly.
So yeah, like, no, it's so important to set boundaries. Like, what is one of your biggest boundaries, you think?
I think one of my biggest boundaries is respect my time that I want to be by myself. Like, respect my me time.
Yeah.
Okay?
That is one of your biggest boundaries.
I love my me time. When I can take me a nice long bath.
Yeah.
Like a nice bubble bath.
Yeah.
Epsom salt. I'm in there for hours. Like I done body scrubbed. I done use my lube.
You on your 5th body wash.
I'm layering perfumes and
right.
Yeah, like I went ahead, I made me a nice dinner, and I got me a nice glass of wine. I'm about to drink my wine.
Yeah.
Maybe even smoke a hookah if that's what I'm on at the time.
Yeah.
It's just, I just want to be able to relax. Like, I want to be able to relax in my clean house, in my clean tub, with my bubble bath, and I just want to have like a very nice, relaxing day. Like, especially when I'm working and I'm working so much. I'm working so much and I'm working so hard, and it's like, dang, I finally got a day off. I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I want to be able to enjoy it, and I don't really want anybody to interfere. Like, when I say nobody to interfere,
just because you want a day off.
just because I want a day to myself.
Like, it's important.
Like I said, I'm not gonna fully blame other people, because I know sometimes, like I said, it goes back to the communication. So exactly. So by the time I'm like fed up with it, it's too late. Like I done exploded.
I express myself too late. I feel like I let things build up.
Yeah, bubble and build.
Like, it's just bubbling inside me. Then I explode. Now no one knows how to take it, because that was weeks ago.
Right.
And now, like, you're still mad. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, yeah.
It's tough. What about you?
Using my vulnerability. Yeah, that's my biggest boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, where I'm vulnerable at, using it against me. If you know I don't like something, and you know it, but you're doing it for show to make me feel bad, that's my biggest boundary.
Right.
I'm caving in at that point.
Right. Like, for instance, if I told you I don't like shrimp and you steady try to put shrimp in my face every time I see
put a shrimp in my face to see how I react, to show other people
right.
how I
to put on a
react,
show
to put on a show for other people to see how I react because of shrimp that you knew makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, sit to that.
It's like a sip of the martini.
Yeah, I feel like that's my biggest boundary. Like, you crossed the line.
Right.
I can never, now I don't trust you. It's like you knew my biggest secret and you felt like, oh, y'all, this is my biggest secret. Look. Like a pet.
Right.
Like I'm a show. Like, that's how I feel. You just made fun about how I feel.
Right. No, I don't mess with shrimp like that. No, I'm a piece of shrimp.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, and then you making me feel bad because you feel like I love shrimp.
Right.
I eat shrimp all the time. You should eat shrimp all the time. Why you don't like shrimp? Look, here's the shrimp. You know, that's bully. I don't care if nobody say you're bullying me.
It's bullying.
That's bullying me. You don't respect who I am as a person. You don't care how it makes me feel. You try to embarrass me. And I didn't appreciate that. Yeah, it is what it is. Do you feel bad or guilty when you set boundaries?
Yes. Because I feel like I'm letting that person down. Like, oh, I was hoping you would come. You know, you always come, but now you're not coming. Like, listen, I probably already feel bad for saying no to begin with.
Right.
Or you come back and you're like, oh, everybody was asking about you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean,
yeah.
I chose to
Take a minute to myself.
Exactly. And I don't feel like I should be faulted for that, or I should be put down because I needed a minute. Like, I needed time to myself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that's what it is for me. It's just like, oh, you know, like I've been doing so much this weekend.
Yeah.
Like I want a day to chill before I have to go back into work.
That person shouldn't make you feel bad because of that. If anything, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm like, friend, girl, you've been working all day. It's okay.
Right.
It's good. Like, that person should understand.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, like, if you don't get me, if I'm scared to come to you, that's a problem. I should easily be able to tell you how I feel.
I feel like I internalize it. So I'm like, what happens is I'll put down a boundary and I'm like, dang, I wonder how that makes that person feels.
But who's responsible for you though?
Exactly. I do that a lot. Thinking about how other people feel in situations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, I don't want to do that because I know if it was me, I would feel X, Y, and Z. But then say a visual, you'd be like, oh, girl, it's okay. Yeah. And I'm like, oh. Like, that's just how
I feel like what's hard for me is knowing that you would do it, and because I'm not in the mood right now to do it, and I'm letting you down, I will put down my boundaries and still do it based off what you would do.
Yeah.
But that's you. I can expect the same things out of me to be like you.
Yeah. The relationship,
or vice versa.
It does have to like be reciprocated, but it shouldn't be to the point where it's like exhausting me though.
Yeah.
Like if it's costing me,
it might be reciprocated, but it doesn't have to be in the same way because it's you. I might be able to bring you lunch or ask you, hey, do you want food when I'm out to eat? And that's my way of showing you that I appreciate you and love you. Right. But maybe your way of doing it is different. And I should be able to accept that. Right. It shouldn't have to look the same way. I should know, like, tell us, she do this. She might not do what I do, but she does it in a different way. Right. And that should be okay.
Right.
But I feel like, too, that leads me to that last question, like, do you feel like we set boundaries differently with different people, with your relationship, with your kids, with your friends, with your parents?
I feel like when in a relationship, like this my man, setting those kind of boundaries is tough. Like, we live together, this my man, like setting those kind of boundaries is a little bit tougher because you're around this person 24/7. And this person also, like, y'all coexist with each other, like regardless if it's, you know, like paying bills, doing, you know, taking my car out, whatever it is, like, I don't want to feel bad for setting this boundary. And then also maybe you retaliating because I set a boundary, because I said no.
I feel like out of everybody, the hardest person for me to set a boundary with is my husband. Ooh. That nigga walking all over me. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at where he's coming from, how he grew up, what he may or may not know, what he did today. What I'm looking at it in all aspects. Does it make it right? No, because it's making me tired.
Yeah.
I deserve probably more. Yeah. But I'm looking like, well, he don't know. Well, he ain't do this. Well,
you're looking at it from
I'm looking at it from his perspective. And but I'm losing.
Yeah.
Point blank period, I'm losing. But I'm thinking like, well, he did this today. Maybe he ain't do it today, but he did this. I feel like it's so hard for me to set boundaries with him.
I feel like you have to, there's a line there too, right? There's a boundary between like setting a boundary with your husband and like, dang. Without us, okay. I feel like with your husband, there's a line where it's like being considerate, right?
Yes.
And then also like also setting that boundary. Like it's not to say you can't be too considerate, but it's like, how many times you gonna let that pass? You don't let it go.
That was a good word, considerate. I feel like, yes, I have boundaries. Absolutely. There's some things he cannot do. And he knows that. But I feel like I'm being so considerate. I'm being considerate how he's living.
Right.
I'm being considerate about, maybe what he had to go through. And you have to figure out, where am I being too considerate?
Where's that fine line?
Too many excuses for him.
Yep.
Where's that fine line?
Where do you go from being like considerate to making excuses?
Exactly. But being walked on. But with my kids, I feel like it's easy because I'm raising them. Yeah. So it's easy for me to set boundaries with them. Hey, I'll let it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with friends, I feel like that's the second hardest. It's to set boundaries with your friends. Because you don't want to come off as the mean girl, or you don't want to come off as, it's always me, or it's always you. And I feel like that's the second hardest is with my friends. With family, nah. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm not married, nor do I have kids. But for me, it's my man, right?
The hardest.
My family would be the second hardest. And then my friends.
I feel like with my family, I can express my boundaries. I feel like would I cave in easier? Yes. Because I might say, today's my off day. I ain't picking up my phone. I ain't going nowhere. So can you bring me some rice? I'm like, damn. All right, Mom.
What you cook today?
What you today? I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right. I feel like I will cave in, but do I know what my boundaries are? Yes. Would I cave in? Yes. Because now I'm like, I'm off anyway, or it's not that big of a deal, or I'll drop you off, or you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, because I'm coming from a space of love.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm putting myself second.
Yeah.
Because I love my family. So I'm going to always put myself second when it comes to them, and I'm always going to be like, okay, it is what it is.
Right.
But how often can you do that? Because now you're losing out on something. Right. That was 15, 20 minutes that you could have been reading a book. 15, 20 minutes you could have went on a walk. 15, 20 minutes you could have been meditating. 15, 20 minutes you could have been praying.
I feel like when it comes to family,
it's hard.
It's really hard for me. Because like you said, I'm definitely willing to cave more when it comes to my family. I'm like,
I don't do it.
I didn't want to do it. Yeah. I don't want to be the bad guy in this situation. Yeah. So I'm just like, for the family, I'm definitely like you said, I will cave more when it comes to family. Like, I'm definitely like, I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but I guess I'll do it.
So what do you do when people overstep your boundaries? Because you're dating.
Yes.
So what do you do with like?
That's our own episode right there.
Don't overstep your boundaries.
It's crazy.
We'll talk about it later, but it's fine. But like, give me one example. Like, what would you do if someone oversteps your boundaries?
At that point, I like, Ooh, girl, when you say dating, that's, ooh, girl, it's triggering, okay? It's very triggering. Oh, my gosh. So I feel like with men, a lot of times with dating, I have to go in and I got to go in and set the record straight.
Yeah.
Like, listen.
I don't like when you do this.
Not even I don't like when you do this. Like, if I'm just not meeting you, I got to set the record straight from jump. Like, before we even go anywhere. Yeah. Like, if we're going on a date, I need to let you know, listen, I'm here for a long time. Yeah. And a good time. Yeah. Like, don't play with me. Yeah. Don't play with me. Yeah. Don't play with my face. Yeah. Like, if you're not serious.
You got to come in blazing.
You got to come in guns blazing. Do you hear me? You got to come in hot. Yeah. If not, that's gonna get an opportunity to walk all over you. Like, oh, let me see if I can do this. Yeah. Let me see if I can do that. No, you cannot. Yeah. So, and it may come off like aggressive, but it's like, at that point, I have to because I'm protecting me. Yeah. So if I'm coming off a little aggressive because I'm like, hey, listen, I'm ready to settle. Yeah. Okay. If you're serious, we can continue. Yeah. Like, we can continue to get to know each other. If you're not, I can be cool with you, but there's nothing else that's gonna happen.
For me, I need to learn not to let my anger come in at 100 when someone oversteps my boundaries.
This goes back to when you say you let it build and build and build. So you might have been at 25.
Exactly.
It's time to happen. And now you at, maybe 50 to 60.
But it doesn't matter. I always need to come in. I have to come in at a certain level. Yeah. I should never come in at 110, 210. I should always come in at a certain level. That's where I'm at right now. Learning how to not let my anger be at 210 when someone oversteps my boundary.
Right. Because
now you're trying to express yourself and they're not getting it.
They're not hearing you.
Because now you're being disrespectful.
Yeah. They're not hearing you. Because all they see is like the anger. Like, you're now like chastised. Yeah. You did this, you did that. Right. And it's like communication.
When you can sit there and be like, I don't like this, I don't appreciate this, they're going to take that in way better. That's why I feel like before you start setting boundaries, you need to learn the rules of communication. Point blank, period. That was good, friend.
That was.
So y'all, thank y'all so much for watching the Hey Frienn podcast. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to catch y'all on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.